Hey, how's it going? Hope your day is going well. And here we are with another video that's going to use HTML and CSS to build another project for us, which is going to be a login dialog, which is going to be pretty straightforward. Nothing crazy here. All we have is two different inputs, our username and password. And if we add any text to our input fields, as you can see right here, our text is going to change to a lighter tan color. And if we remove it, it should go right back to that lighter blue color for our placeholder text. And that's pretty much straightforward there. If you just hit the login, it's going to try to do a little validation for our inputs. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. So now with that being said, let's actually jump directly into our project. Okay, here we are within our project. And as you can see, we actually have a template file here that's already has some information for us. Now, you can actually download this template file from the link in the description, which is going to have our HTML already there for us. Also going to come with a style guide. Okay, now with that being said, let's actually head right back to our HTML file and just start working there. Now, well, let's actually open up our design file as another tab so we can see it a little bit better. I just move this over until we have a little bit more information to actually see. Okay, so first thing that we have here is we have a header with the login up top and then a little message underneath. So let's just build that out. Start with a div to actually build our container. And I just add our class as login, since that's pretty much going to be our login dialog. Okay, so now that we have that in place, now let's just add our h1 for our top header login. Okay, now let's go down and let's grab our message underneath. So please enter your info to log in. Okay, so for that, we're going to just use a paragraph for that. And then we just copy that in there. And so while we're here, let's just start adding our classes to all of our whatever we have currently. So here we just do login header. Then we'll do for this one, for the paragraph, we'll just say this would be login underscore headline. Oh, okay. So since we actually have that, let's actually go to our CSS and start adding that so we can see something over here to our right hand side. Okay, and our CSS is going to be located in the assets style right here. And as you can see, it's already linked in our HTML. So let's just go back to let's just go ahead to our CSS file. Now, again, if you use the template file, what you'll see right here is we're going to have all of our variable colors already defined for us, including our font sizes. And then we just have a little bit of boilerplate going on here. Okay, let's go back to our HTML file first and just grab our CSS container class. Okay, and let's just since we're here, let's just go and grab the rest of our CSS. Okay, looks good. Now, let's actually go back to so from here, first thing we're gonna want to do is just add the color. Yeah, like this little bluish color for our background. So to do that, let's just add a background, just set the background color to our dark blue color here. To do that, we're going to just use var, then just copy and paste that down into our var. Okay, move that over. Looks good. What else? What else are we going to want to add since we are here? Let's go back to our design really quick. So we're going to want to let's just set the text center while we're here. Text align to actually center while we're here. Let's also add the border radius because since we actually need to set the corners here, so let's do that. Also here, the border radius will be, let's try 5 pixels for that. And then we're gonna need a little bit of padding around our content. So let's just add that also while we're here. So let's just add a little bit of padding. Let's see. Let's just try 20 pixels and 30 pixels. So the first number is going to be the top and bottom percentages, or top and bottom spacing. So here, and then the second one will be the left and right. So we can save that and head back over to our example. There we go. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty good there. But the first problem that I actually see is that our login header should be all uppercase. So yeah, it should all be uppercase. Now we could just go back to our HTML file and just make it all uppercase. Or what we can do is just do that with CSS. So let's head back to our CSS here, and what you're gonna want to do is do a text transform. Let's see, uppercase. There we go. So save that, come back over here, reload it. There we go. Looks really good now. Let's see, what else are we gonna need? Font weight of 400, which is gonna set it as a, we're gonna set it as regular. Okay, great. What also do we gonna need? We're also gonna need to add a little bit of spacing for our spacing between the letters of our header. So to do that, we're going to go to the thing called, let's see, we're going to use a property called letter spacing. And for that, we're going to say, let's just try 5 pixels and see how well that looks. Okay, yeah, it puts a good amount of space in between our letters. Okay, great, yeah. Okay, that looks good. And the last thing we're going to need to do is actually set the font size, because our style guide says that our font size should be 30 pixels. So let's actually go back to our style and set this font size to 30 pixels. But instead of actually setting it directly there, we can just copy it from here, from our variable, and set that as that. And over here, reload it, and it's going to shrink it down a little bit more to match our style guide. Okay, great. Okay, that looks good. Now from there, what we need to do is let's head to our headline. Okay, so from there, to go back to our guide or back to our mockup, we can see that between the header and the headline, there's a little bit of space there. So to do that, let's just add a little bit of margin. So we could just do a top margin from there, and let's just try 10 pixels and see how well that looks. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, next thing we're gonna want to do is just change we're gonna want to change the font size. As our style guide says, our font size should be 12 pixels. And then let's head over here. Same thing like we did with our header. We can just come over here and grab that information, set that there, and there we go. It shrunk it down considerably. There we go. There we go. So we have our header, and then we had our headline in place. Now let's go back, head back to our HTML and continue adding all of our elements there, or at least the next part of our elements. Okay, so now we're gonna need to add our input fields. Now, typically with the input fields, you can define it outside a form, but if you want to do form validation and stuff like that, then you're gonna have to have it with inside a form. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do here. Just add it. Okay, let me just remove this part and go. So we're gonna add all our inputs within the form, and we're gonna just say action. Let's say action nothing for now, but then add our class as login underscore form. And then from there, we're going to just want to add our inputs. So inputs, well, we can actually use there we go, built-in one. So text, correct. So the text is going to be for our login, for our username. Yep. And let's see, what else are we going to want to add? We're going to want to say required. For now, we just do empty string there. That way, when we try to submit this form, it's going to say, hey, we actually need to validate this information. So placeholder, and then the placeholder, we're going to just say user name. because right here, like this information right here will be our placeholder. So we're gonna just add that there. But same thing we did with the header, we're not gonna define that as uppercase here directly within our HTML. We're gonna do that with CSS. Okay, so now that we have our username input, let's just come back and add our password placeholder. Password, correct. And then from there, we also are going to change the text. We're also going to change the type of our input to password, so we don't actually see that information when we actually type it in. Okay, great. Let's see, save that, and let's just come back over here and so we can see it. Okay, there we go. So we seeing our inputs within our HTML, but as you can see, it's not really styled the way we want it. But for now, we're going to just, keep rolling with that. And let's just add our button to the bottom, our login submit button. So let's just do button. Let's see, type button, and we'll just add a class there. Same thing as always. We'll just do login __ submit. Then our text for our button will be all in. Great. Let's see, what else do we gonna want to add to our form? Let's go back to our design to actually see what else do we need. Oh, okay, yeah, we actually gonna need this information down here. So we'll say that as the footer. So we'll just do a div class login __ footer. Okay, then we can also, now we just add our text, which will be the text for our footer will be, we'll use a paragraph for that. And there we go. That's our text for that. But then we'll just add a class being login footer __ message. Okay, we have that. And the next thing we're going to want to add there, do a little bit more zoom in. Oh, no, that may be a little bit too much zoomed in. Or we could, let's actually move this over and do a zoom in so you can see a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so we're going to have to add the link to the create account for the button. But for now, we're going to just say it's a link because we never know. It could be linked to a different page. So we just do anchor, do a hashtag there. And as you guess, we'll add the class. The class is going to be the same thing as this, but it's going to be register. There we go. And then the text for that is going to be, let's see, it's going to be create an account. There we go. And if we just reload our example, we can see that for the most part, we have everything in place except our styling. Okay, now that we have our HTML in place, let's actually head back to our style and pretty much continue our work there. Okay, so let's actually grab the form. Let's see, what else do we have? We have the form, we have the header, and then we have the headline. Well, no, we already added that. We already added the header and the headline. Okay, so yeah, we actually don't have any classes for our input. So yeah, we'll target. We don't necessarily need to add that. We'll just target those with other way. Let's just grab the login submit. Okay, so for the form, so the styling for our form will be, let's just add a width of 100. Okay, and then let's actually add yeah, and let's see. Do we need a little bit of padding? Yeah, we need a little bit of padding between form and our headline. So we can do that with a margin top. Let's say margin top. Let's do 20 pixels. And let's reload that. It looks pretty good. But we also, let's see, do we need a little bit of padding at the bottom also? Yeah, so we do need a little bit of padding there also. So instead of just adding just to the top, let's just add it to the top and bottom. Do that. Let's just move the top part and then we'll define that. Okay. So yeah, it puts padding at the top and the bottom. Looks good. Okay, from there, now let's actually move to the actual inputs of our form. And let's do login __ form input. So we're going to need to target at least both of them anyway. So now what we have here, let's add, let's say, first thing we're going to want to do is, since our our inputs are being rendered in the same line, we actually want them to be stacked top and bottom here. And so first thing first is we're gonna want to display this as a block, set an inline block. There we go. Now let's just make our width, let's just set the width of those to 100, so they take up their entire row. Gonna take up the entire row. Okay, great. Like that. Go. Now let's set. Now that we set the width, let's just go ahead and set the height while we're here, anyways. So set the height of them. Okay. Yeah, right there. Let's remove the border since we don't need a border on those. So we just do the border as none. Okay. Now let's set padding. Well, we're gonna need some padding between the two elements, but all we really need to do is just at the bottom, the margin bottom, to let's just try 20 pixels. Set that so we can space between the top and the bottom, the username and the password input, and then also put some space between the password and the login button. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, we're actually gonna need to set the that, because we're gonna need the placeholder actually be uppercase. So yeah, like we were saying earlier, we actually could set the placeholder as uppercase within our HTML, but let's actually do that with CSS. So to do that CSS, let's just do like we did with the our header. We're gonna go text transform uppercase. Okay, set that as uppercase, and then we're gonna let's just set the background color of our actual inputs. Background color. The background color is going to be pretty much the exact same color as our. Well, no, I was gonna say we could set the background color as the background color of our entire input form, but let's actually just make it transparent, so it takes on whatever's on the bottom. There we go. It looks good. So yeah, yep. As you can see, we actually gonna need to remove that border. So let's actually add the border color also. Border color as transparent also. And don't want let me see. Oh well, no, the border, well, that's actually going to be handled with the focus, not the actual border color. So let's just go ahead and add that now as login form, the focus outline as none. Come back over here, we click, there we go. Now the border is gone. Okay, might as well just keep the border color also as transparent anyways for now. Let's set the, since we actually can't see the actual actual font now, let's actually set the color. Set the color as, we'll use that lighter. Well, yeah, we'll actually be this color here, since we actually defining it for that. Come over here, yeah. But we're actually gonna want to change the placeholder color. So let's just do that with login form placeholder. The placeholder is not going to be that and color. It's going to be our lighter color. Grab that. And so the color for that will be there we go. Reload it. There we go. It's a little bit lighter. Okay, but let's actually come back and go back to our style guide to grab the font size. So while we're still in the input, let's just change that to here we go. There we go. Got that. Yep. Size a little bit better. Let's see, what else do we need? We're going to the border bottom color. Yeah, we're gonna need to set that because we need this line here. So we just do border bottom is going to be 1 pixel. We just say solid, and then the color is going to be our tan color. Come back up, grab that again, and put that there. There we go. Looks good. Now that we actually have the bottom border showing, we're also going to need to add a little bit of padding to offset our input information. So like the placeholder and plus our input text. So to do that, let's just add some padding. So padding, we'll say I just do 8 pixels. Since the style guide doesn't define any padding constraints or anything like that. Okay, yep, it pushes it off a little bit. Looks good. And we have our placeholder as blue, and we have our text as this tan color. Great. Now that we have that, we actually gonna need to set, we go back to our style guide again, we're gonna see that our placeholder is 18 pixels, but it's actually set as bold. So go back to our style, go down to our placeholder, and we'll just set the font weight as 700, because 700 should define as bold, and it's just set it as 700. Yep, correct. Back to our style, save that, come back over here, and as you can see, our placeholder has indeed become bold. Looks good. But what we're going to want to do is that we're not going to want to do a text transform on our input as we type it. We're only going to want to have the placeholder as being text transformed. So instead of having it here, we're actually going to want to move that out, put that down here. And we're actually going to want to set, while we also move that down, we're also going to want to set the font size for our placeholder as the same thing as our normal input. Okay, we could do that and reload. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we can actually have our placeholder will be bold, or no, will be bold, and it will be text transform as uppercase, but our input can be whatever we want it to be. Right. Okay, we'll see what else. I think that's pretty much about it for, let's see, for our inputs. I think that's pretty much it for our inputs, to be honest. Let's see. We have, go back to our design really quick. Placeholders, uppercase. We have the bottom border as that tan color. We have the input color as tan also. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Okay. Now that we have our inputs in place, or our inputs all styled up, now let's move down to our submit button. Okay, so to do that, so what we're gonna want to do is, let's see, let's actually stretch out our submit button with the, let's just specify the width, and I just say it as like 70%, which will be 70% of the, whatever its parent is. In this case, will be the form, which in case is gonna be form has a width of 100, so which is gonna be the whole form dialog area thing. So that's how it gets its width. And from there, let's just add some padding around the text and padding border. So let's just say 12 pixels. Now from there, okay, it looks good. I'm seeing, let's see how well, because we actually don't want any space to the left, right. We just want to specify from the top and bottom. Okay, it looks good. Now we're also gonna need to change the size and the weight of it. So we can just do that really quick with font size. And actually go back up to our variables and grab what it should be. Scroll back down and set the font size. We're also going to want to do the weight. I think the weight of it is bold. Yep, correct. So head back to our style and just do font weight of 700 again, because we already defined earlier that our font weight of 700 refers to bold. Okay, we got that. We're also gonna want to do a text transform of uppercase on it. Yes. Yep. From our mockup, and let's just do a text transform as uppercase. Okay, we could do that. Let's just do a quick refresh. Okay, now there we go. That looks good. And then from here, this button actually has a border on it, which we do not want. So we'll just quickly set the border to none. Okay, there we go. It looks better. And then from here, we just need to set the background color. Background color being that, go back to our mockup really quick, being that lighter color, lighter blue color, which is this one right here. Go back down and we just set that. And then we can just set the color, the text color being that tan color, which is bottom border also has that, so we could just grab it from there. Okay, let's do a, there we go, looks good. And then we need to, from there, we just need to set the corner radius or the border radius. Border radius of 5, let's try 5 pixels. 5 pixels, there we go. Reload it. Okay, yeah, looks better. Looks good. I think only thing we need right now, we just need to change the cursor. As we move around, it doesn't change. So we just change the cursor to a pointer. Cursor to pointer, resave that, come over here, reload. There we go, looks better. And let's see what else we need. So we have changed the background color, we changed the text color, we changed the uppercase, made it to uppercase, changed the pointer. Yep. Font size, weight, background color, again, border, move the border. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If we go back to our mockup, yeah, it looks pretty good. let's zoom out a little bit there. Yeah, looks pretty good. Okay, so we have that. We have the button looking good. Let's see what else. We're gonna need to put a little bit of spacing between the button and our footer area. So let's head back to our style again. Okay, so yeah, we have the button in place. Now let's just go and start to add our styling to our footer elements. Okay, we go back and we went and just grabbed the class from the HTML file. And here, let's display these as, let's just use flex to display these. Back over here, reload it. Yep, puts it in the same row. Looks good. And we just mentioned that we're gonna need to put a little bit of space between the button and our footer. So let's just do 20 pixels with the margin top and reload it. Okay, it looks good. And we could just add a little bit of space between our elements within our div, within our flex class, within our flex container. Okay, so to do that, we'll just do gap. Let's try 10 pixels. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks better. Okay, we have that. What else? What else are we gonna need here? For now, I think we just need to. Style the create account link with a different color, and we're gonna need to also remove that line underneath. So from there, let's grab our class, go back to our CSS, and say that the color being our tan color, which is the sunset color here. Bar, set that. Looks good. Then we'll just remove the text underline, or the underline of our anchor, which is going to be, to do that, we're going to need the text decoration. Set that to none. Save that. Come back over here, reload, and there we go. Pretty good at that point. Yeah, everything looks pretty much good at this point. But if you come over here and we click our login, we're not getting that validation that we have from our example right here. So in order to fix that, what we're going to need to do is go back to our div here and actually remove the type button. We remove that, then we come back over here and reload our example and try to click the login button. Now we're going to have our validation logic kick in for our things here. There we go. Also for our password, click that. There we go. It's actually going to remove it because it's going to try to actually submit it. There, click the login button. There we go. So there we have it. We have a very straightforward little small login dialogue that you can use to pretty much, practice your basics on. So if you found this video helpful, remember to go into the comment section and let me know if this video did not help you in any way. Also, remember to go into the comment section and also let me know.